Grab your friends, head down the stairs. It's time for old games in the basement. Woo. We're gonna play some games. It's old games in the basement. Look out for Uncle Hank.
Hey boys, how you doing? Mm-hmm. Dun 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 dun.
I think so.
For the love of God, will you shut your fucking yap?
I'm auditioning to sing a soundtrack. Shut the fuck up, you bastard!
You will fail this movie like you failed all the James Bond auditions. I
Hey,
swear
it's not
to
my fault they couldn't handle a lovingly thick woman like me. They had to go with the lady that played the culprit, and they killed that bitch!
You tried fucking GoldenEye back in the day, and you failed so fucking hard. And I swear to God, if you keep trying, I will have to stuff you.
I'm gonna get tried because you ain't shit. At least Ethan Hunt Mission Impossible is good looking.
What the fuck did you just say?
You heard me.
No, I really didn't. You sound like garbage right now.
I said Mission Impossible will take me.
No, they really won't. They literally sent me an email the other day saying that we do not want to hear anything from your ugly ass trap ever again.
Well, too bad they're gonna get more.
You know what? Get over here. Get over here.
I'm out of here.
I feel like we should be calling 911.
If we were a little bit younger, Child Protective Services.
Do you
wouldn't
want
need
to
be
deal with
called.
her awful singing anymore?
I don't, Uncle Hank.
Yeah,
You know you love hearing this stuff, you boys.
I would rather keep my hearing. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Indeed.
You're a bunch of fat, shimmy assholes. I'm out of here.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, boys. Okay, you guys record for once. I'm just gonna bounce.
Yes, please take care of that, Hank. At least you're tolerable.
Like, I swear, she's awful every time. I'd rather keep hanging around.
I mean, like, I remember, like, when Hank was, like, bad, but then she comes along and everything just gets so much worse.
Now, remind me again why we found her. Where she came from?
I'll talk.
I think Hank has. I think.
No. Listen. I'll tell you that story another time. For now, I'm just gonna take her outside. Okay. Bye.
Take her out
take it
back
for
to
that
the
one.
shed,
All right.
please, and at least remove the vocal cords so she can't talk.
Something like that.
You know what they say? Silence is golden, but duct tape is silver.
Yeah. Hey, Kelly, wrap this up.
It's time for old games in the basement.
Woo! Bravo.
Bravo. Man.
Can you believe this is episode 8? I believe it is.
I'm
Eight or
not
nine?
really
It was
counting.
episode 9. Then again, I can't remember.
I lost track.
Yeah,
I mean,
I kind
I
of
lost
see
a lot
these
of
as
No, I
It
guess it
does-
is episode. Yeah, it is episode 9.
I kind of see these as like non-sequential anyway. You can watch them in any order. So
watch them.
I-
I would love to watch them. If there was anything to watch.
I'm gonna say, is there
Well,
something-
honestly, there
When
could
can
there
you
could
watch-
be
how
something
can
in the
you watch,
future.
We could do a
things-
video.
How can you watch things without a video?
you
I
you could render a blank image on the audio, and then it would be watching the audio basically.
I mean, we
But
did.
there's just no.
But you're not. There's nothing to see.
There might be someday, but
Not
who
yet.
wants to just watch us like literally stare at us for 2
No
hours?
one even wants
talking?
to listen to us. Why would they want to watch us?
Exactly.
I want to listen to us.
Yeah, I like.
That's
I
because
like,
you're in
I
love
like
with
me.
That's because you're in love with the sound of your own voice.
I mean, that's besides the point.
But no, who knows? Maybe
Nice.
maybe
People don't
maybe
wanna
we'll
do
do
that
some
because
more
they don't
video
wanna hear me
stuff
randomly
later. So
burp.
Right.
We'll figure out something.
we will.
But
We
you
will.
know what? Whoever does listen to it, well, you can deal.
Honestly, even though I said fuck this show before in the past and stuff, I actually do enjoy this show.
Oh, hey, thanks, Uncle
Oh,
Hank.
thanks.
Well, thanks,
Uncle
Uncle
Hank.
Thank you, Uncle
You
Hank.
can speak
Even
positive.
though
Wow.
we don't like you from time to
Well,
time.
at least we have one person who listens to this show.
Yeah.
Even though he rags on it on constantly.
By the way, kids, I forgot. Listen to me, Hose in the Counter, so be safe. I'm gonna go bounce.
All right.
I swear to all that is holy.
Please, just something. Do something, Hank.
Can we go back to the older episodes before she came back on here?
You're the one who brought her here.
You are the one. I'm bouncing.
I was gonna say, she's with you. She lives with him.
That's
So,
true.
There is no.
I mean, I guess if you can blame anyone, just blame the parole board.
I mean, we would have to at this point. But honestly, though,
you know, they said 3 to 5, and they let her out on good behavior in 2.5. So
Yeah.
I feel cheated.
I also feel cheated. But honestly, if we had to pick someone here to blame besides them, I'd have to blame Grant because he chose to move in with them.
He
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
Yeah.
we could find someone else's basement to record in, but my basement isn't very nice.
I don't have a basement.
Well, there is mine, but do you
Chris
really
is a-
want to be surrounded by my stuff?
Yes.
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 I mean,
We could do.
We actually have stuff.
We could do my basement surrounded by good food.
Good food.
Could do
You
that.
got
as
good
well.
food.
And you know, I've
Yeah.
never
I'd
actually,
probably
I've
take
never
food
actually,
over
I've
my
never
stuff.
actually seen your basement.
Yeah,
did
do you
I,
didn't even
actually.
have a basement?
Actually,
Yes, he
actually,
kinda
Ross,
does.
you have been in my basement once.
I don't remember it.
It was like years
I was
ago.
gonna say that's why I briefly remember it.
Actually,
I just know that's where the laundry goes.
you almost took a shit in my basement too.
I didn't remember
Nice.
that.
No, it has a working toilet, so you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you
How
go.
many toilets does your house have? I know of at least 2.
3, if you technically three,
So
when you
3.
count the basement.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Okay.
one in the basement, the one on the first
First
floor, and the
floor.
one on the second floor.
Nice.
Okay,
Okay.
makes sense.
Well, you know those old Victorian houses. They got multiples of
Yeah.
everything.
Third floor doesn't have a bathroom though, and
It doesn't need one.
No, okay. So let's catch up with the last 2 weeks. Grant, what the fuck have you been doing?
A lot of college. I'm doing pretty good in my classes here so far.
All right, all right.
Summer classes
Going
are
to
almost.
He hasn't
Sure.
failed yet.
Yes.
Golf
I
clap?
haven't. I've managed
clap?
to avoid dying.
Golf clap.
Golf clap.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, there you go.
You really didn't need to end that at
Yeah.
the end.
No, I
You
did
did not have to
chose
grunt.
you anyway.
We're gonna have to cut that out.
We might cut
Hey, we
that
made
out.
the
We
joke
might.
about how that would sound earlier, so I was just bringing it to a natural conclusion.
I feel like in every episode we have to say like we're gonna cut that part out. It's
And
like
yet
it's
we
par-
don't.
And yet,
and
you,
no,
and
yeah, we
yet-
never
and
do.
yet you
don't.
We never
you
do.
never do.
I never do.
Why?
Actually, there is one thing. If we could go back to one episode and cut out just the quick 3 seconds, that'd be great. We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Let's see here. Anyway, so college, living, surviving. What else?
But besides that, nothing really too crazy to report. Everything's been pretty normal for me. Just been very busy with work and school and all
Yeah.
that lately. So
All right.
I'm not that interesting.
Ross,
We
what about
know.
you?
Oh, we're going clockwise this time.
Yeah, Ross,
Usually we go
what-
the other way.
Yeah.
Well, I
You farted?
You farted?
Yeah, I mean, I do that,
I do
every
that
day,
sometimes.
But I have farted at least once in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, I would hope so. Otherwise, that back
And that
pressure.
too.
I would hope so. Otherwise, that back pressure is going to build up, and that's not going to be pretty.
For anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But I mean, I filled out panel submissions for another con, and as of today, they were accepted. So
Yay.
I get to drive out by Cleveland.
That's cool.
Technically, it's in Kirtland, but it's close enough to Cleveland.
I mean, Cleveland's nice. At least it's not Detroit.
At least we're not Detroit.
Exactly.
Trademark.
I had to go with
Yeah.
that. For everyone listening to that and doesn't know, look up Cleveland tourism videos. You'll get the joke.
Yep.
And then just yesterday, farted around. Mostly just needed more incense for the house. But
Because you farted around.
it's quick. I straight up farted. I faffed about and farted around.
Nice.
And after I got the incense, we had time. We were just like
Ooh, what you
killing
got
time.
there?
Fussy stash.
You said
Um,
guy called Mr. Jizz. Yes, all Japanese imports. And they
Dang.
all
What a weeb.
Wait, okay.
But
So
they were
Japanese games?
What-
Oh, I want.
Wait, what do we got here?
Nice.
Let's list these off.
well, first off, Final Fantasy X-2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
nice.
one's obvious.
This is $7. Spy Fiction.
Ooh.
I've heard of that
I've never
one.
heard of it. Looks
Gundam
kind of cool.
Seed.
Gundam Seed. Ooh.
Yeah, that's
Maybe. I haven't.
Gundam Seed is one of the worst series.
Oh, okay.
Gundam Seed sucks so
Take it over-
hard.
take it over
What is
Iron
that?
Orphans.
Onimusha 2.
Onimusha 2 Japanese.
but-
Okay.
Saying Gundam Seed is better than Iron Blooded
Ooh, is that
Orphans
Yakuza
saying
2
a
I see?
gold-plated
Also,
turd
yes.
is better than a regular turd. You're
Yakuza 2 was one of the
technically
best
correct, but they're
ones.
both crap.
We're having
Yakuza
2
2.
conversations at once.
Yakuza 2.
Okay.
And then another Gundam Seed.
All right.
Oh.
They made 2 Gundam Seed games on the PS2?
Dude, there's a Gundam game for every series.
Well, I didn't know they
Unfortunately,
made
yeah, there
multiple,
is.
though.
Hey, Japanese imports were fairly cheap.
Yep.
And
I
this is
want to
at,
visit
this
this
is at
place.
Storm
Where
and
was it
Norman?
again?
It's the place that it was in. The place is called. The guy's called Mr. Deals, but it's in the building called Storm and Norman's, literally down the street from my apartment.
Oh, cool.
I'll show you where it is.
Like you know where the
Please do.
Okay.
Do they have
please-
anything else
please
there,
do.
or were those kind of just the highlights?
I just found those. The
Okay.
guy that's selling these also had Pokemon, Magic the Gathering cards.
Mm-hmm.
That's like this building has like a whole bunch of vendors in it. It's like
Yeah.
a big,
Yeah,
Wait.
I've
Is
been
that,
there
where
once.
is that the building where the Mommy Antiques Mall used to be?
Yeah.
yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I know where that is.
Yeah, right by the Goodwill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically a flea market. It's
I'll
really
show
what it
you
comes
after the
down to.
podcast is done.
Yes.
Yeah, it's basically,
Please
it's basically
do.
like a flea market right by the.
Yeah, we should go there sometime for the heck of it.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
You never know what you might find. One of-
Exactly.
a
I
place
wasn't
like
planning
that,
on
yeah.
finding these.
Yeah.
I've been told that there used to be a guy there. I don't know if he still is, but he has like a bunch of vintage like diecast race cars, which is something that I
I've seen
collect.
those. I've seen those there. Yeah, I
love those
They
things.
had like antique weaponry there too, which is kind of cool.
There
They
are
had,
a couple spots for that.
they had
You
some
got
like
nice-
knives and
Oh,
stuff like that.
That's
as
not
we
a
were
knife.
walking-
Brass
That's a
brass
knife.
knuckles.
Hold on. As we were walking out of the entire place, the main sellers that you see when you first walk in there had an old vintage accordion.
Oh,
Ooh,
cool.
that's
It was
pretty nice.
missing. It was missing one single key. It
Oh,
was one of the black keys.
They could
that's
probably.
racist.
I mean, what
It's only one of them. They have the others.
Yeah, they have all the other. But it was like, and yeah,
Yeah.
It was an old accordion.
That's
Neat.
pretty good.
That is pretty interesting.
And
I
that's
mean,
fun.
theoretically, if it's only missing the one key, it could get restored.
Yeah.
All right.
But that's pretty much been my weeks.
That's nice. Kelly, what about you?
Oh, I see. We're doing it like this way. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zigzag.
I got you.
Switch it up.
I got you. I don't know. Well, let's see. Last week we had a bit of a movie night at Sin's house.
Yes, we did.
It was a good time. It was a double feature of the original Top Gun and Yellow Submarine.
Whee!
This motherfucker kept falling
Sorry.
asleep.
I regret nothing.
I fell asleep during Top Gun, but I don't feel bad because I've seen Top Gun many times.
Yeah. Would you believe that this one thinks that the flying sequences are the boring part of the movie?
There were other.
He just says that to justify his hatred for Tom Cruise.
I don't even need to fucking do that, you fucking scad.
I'm just saying, you've gone on how much you hate Tom Cruise.
I mean, doesn't mean I won't give a movie a shot. If there's a Tom Cruise movie I haven't seen, and everyone's like, "But this is the greatest one ever," and you'll sit me down to watch and stuff, I will judge it fairly. Just because I don't like an actor or actress does not mean I won't judge it fairly.
Well, I guess
just don't care for Top Gun.
Well, then I guess that means next time you're watching Days of Thunder.
Okay.
Yeah, and see, I know you'll hate that one because it's about NASCAR, and let's face it, everyone hates.
Is that one
NASCAR.
related to Tropic Thunder? Hey, I like Tropic Thunder.
Who else but Grant Meyer?
It's Grant Meyer.
I'm
only had
stopped.
Tom Cruise in it for briefly.
Stop. Oh my god.
Besides, Tropic Thunder was a parody anyway.
I know,
It
it was
was.
great.
Never saw Tropic
technically,
Thunder,
if you
nor
want
do I
the
have any
parody of Days
intention.
of
Oh,
Thunder,
it's
that
funny.
would be Talladega
It's funny. I
Nights.
recommend it.
Okay.
Anyways, but no.
So yeah,
So-
other than that, my last 2 weeks have been fairly uneventful. Well, speaking of racing, the Indy 500 was a good show, like I knew it was gonna be, and that was fun.
Do they race in circles?
Technically, it's a rectangle.
Nice. That's impressive.
Yeah, because the Indianapolis.
Actually, wait, like legit, like they do like 90-degree turns, or?
Yeah, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is laid out like a rectangle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know
It's
that.
called a oval, but it's technically shaped like a rectangle.
So they do have to do those sharp turns then?
Yeah, it's a.
They're not super sharp turns. But it's a 90-degree, but it's a smooth 90-degree arc. It's not like an immediate turn.
Okay.
It's like curved turns.
Sure.
It's an
Sure.
arc. It's a
An
90-degree
yeah.
arc.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yes, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is actually shaped like a rectangle. So there's actually 4 turns.
That are
Two long
very
stra-
defined.
Yeah,
Okay.
2 long straightaways and then 2 what they call short shoots.
Yeah.
But yes, it is. That's why in Indianapolis is so old. That's why other modern oval tracks call it turn 1, turn, even though they're not separate turns. But because Indianapolis was like the first one built, they're like, oh well, we'll just call it turn 1, 2, 3, 4, even though they're not actually turn 1, 2, 3, 4.
You know what I just wonder? Why haven't they made like an equivalent of a real life Mario Kart? Like obviously not like throwing like banana peels and stuff. Like why not have like carts that are like maneuverable?
Oh yeah,
That
no,
like
there are go-karts.
Yeah.
There are actual kart racing
Yeah,
leagues.
there-
That's actually
really?
That's actually how a lot of the Formula One drivers in Europe get their start is by doing karting, and then they move up to larger vehicles from there.
I actually didn't know that.
There's actually this one go-kart racetrack up in Canada, but anyone can go to that's advertised as if it's like a real life Mario Kart track.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Like I'm not talking about like circles. I mean like lots of like weird, unusual
Yes.
turns.
Yeah,
okay.
no, bro. This track is like 3-4 layers.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then, we're getting Super Nintendo World. We're in real
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
We
I
already-
can't wait to see that.
Yeah, we already
That'll
have the
be
Nintendo World in Japan already. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
And then we're
And
gonna
it's
here.
coming soon to Hollywood and then Florida.
Yeah.
Florida. Yep.
They're working on it.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. Anything else, Kelly?
No, that's been pretty much it for me. And my last 2 weeks have been fairly uneventful. Oh, the fun thing is next week I'm going to Boston.
Yeah,
Boston!
Yep. I hear you went to a wedding today.
I did. A friend of mine that I used to work with got hitched, so that was
Yay.
fun. And it was a relatively small ceremony, but it was nice.
Golf clap for the happy couple.
Golf clap.
Golf clap for the happy couple.
I do these nice slow ones.
And you're done.
And you're done.
right.
And since we're talking about music, I should mention this, that the intro music for the bride, it wasn't the typical intro music for the bride. No, she marched to the Imperial March.
Nice.
Oh,
Because
that sounds like a red
both
flag,
my friends are
Bunch
all
of
nerds.
that's the best type of wedding to have, honestly.
Yeah.
They're more entertaining.
Yeah.
So other than that, that's what I've been up to.
How
Chris.
was the food?
Of course you'd ask about
All
the
right,
food.
okay. Chris, what have you done in the last 2 weeks besides play Mega Man?
Well, honestly, nothing really interesting happens in my life unless I'm with you guys. Let's be fair about that one.
Yay!
We bring out the crazy in everybody.
We bring joy to Chris's otherwise dull and boring existence.
Same
That's
with you guys
true.
to me.
I will not deny that. Without you guys, I'm just a plain, dull, boring guy.
You're just
Yep.
a plain Greek. That's all you are.
Yeah.
Like who mows the lawn?
But let's see here. Yesterday, Edison and I went to go see the recent Jurassic Park movie.
Jurassic
Oh, that came
World.
out?
Jurassic, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Jurassic
didn't know
World.
that was out yet. Okay.
Do you care for spoilers?
Eh,
I'm saying now because I'm going to go into a few spoilers.
Go
On
ahead.
his turn,
Go
that
ahead.
is.
I'm not gonna watch
Actually,
it.
how about you
Fine,
save that
I'll
for
probably
your
not
turn?
watch it.
I'm
for a
probably,
moment.
I know
I'll
I'm
de-
not gonna
I'll
watch
definitely
it.
save it for my turn. I'll
Yeah,
definitely.
because I haven't even seen the first Jurassic World.
No, you're not missing out. You are not missing out.
So pretty much the only thing video game related during my streams, finally got done with the OG Metal Gear Solid on PlayStation. And I forgot that game has no time to hold your hand whatsoever.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
No, it
No.
chucks you into the deep end and says swim, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm too spoiled by the remake and the past games
Did
after
you have
that.
fun with the Psycho Mantis fight?
Everyone has fun. I see you like to
play Castlevania.
Hey, he only says that if you actually have that on your memory
Which
card.
he did. I was actually watching him when he
hell,
did
if
that.
I
Yeah.
forgot I even had that
Yeah,
file on my
Hell,
mem
if you
card.
Actually there was another game where Kojima said Police Knots.
Yep.
If he'll comment on that if you have it on there.
Only in the Japanese version, though. But yes, you're correct. Same with, I think they had a Snatcher re-release, too.
Maybe.
Yeah, it was fun playing that again. And I look forward to playing the other Metal Gear games later. And finally now, after all this time, as you all know, of Mega Man, but I've never delved into the Mega Man Battle Network series in my entire life, except Network Transmission on the GameCube. That was the only exception I made because that was the 2D style of it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I started streaming it yesterday, and now I'm kind of kicking myself in the butt. It's like, why did I turn a blind eye to this years ago? Seriously, why'd I do that?
I couldn't tell you. So have you started collecting the network games or not? yet?
Yeah, I have them all now.
Awesome. What are you
Network 1 was the last one I needed, which
What-
I had to bite the bullet and pay pay a good amount for.
Wait,
you
the
had
first
to-
game goes for a lot of money now?
Yeah, it does.
Is it for did you get it in a box or card?
In a box, yeah.
Oh, okay. That
It was
makes
the only one listing I saw in a box on eBay. I figured, if I'm going to get this, go for broke.
Okay,
Sure.
so answer,
But
answer,
no instruction manual.
answer me
That's
this. Answer me this question: was it one paycheck or two?
the credit card, bitch.
That
Yeah.
that doesn't answer my question.
No.
How many paychecks was this worth?
That's for me to know and you to find out.
I mean,
In other words,
Three
in
and
other
a
words,
half.
Three-
in other words,
3.74.
in
A
other
lot.
words, he ain't telling you anything.
Yeah.
All right, but that's just a joke. But to be serious though, 150.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Good
not
chunk
horrible.
of money,
I mean,
but
Silent Hill 1 on disc goes for that much last
Yeah.
I checked.
and I
Right.
still have my copy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I
Well,
do.
now you know how to make
But
some
that-
money.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's almost nothing. When you guys start being guests on my streams and whatnot, you'll start seeing what else my money goes towards.
I mean, I was already on the one. That's for
Dude,
sure.
I've seen your basement. I know what most of your money
Yeah.
goes
Exactly.
towards.
We've all been in your basement.
We've
We
all
know
been
what-
in your basement.
We have, yep.
We know what your money goes towards.
Yep.
Wait till you actually. Just wait till you see pickups from now on.
honestly.
Things are gonna get interesting.
Yes, I think it's time for our
Yes.
actual topic
Time
for
to
today's
get to the
episode,
actual topic
which
today.
is.
Oh, I thought I was gonna bitch about Jurassic World for like 2 seconds. All right.
Oh,
I'll talk about that
fucking
later.
God, it's a dinosaur.
This sword.
Not anymore, it's not!
Actually,
No.
I remember there was one more thing. And for me, I actually went to Colossal Con.
There you go.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And how depressing was that?
Yes.
I mainly went for the flea market, and I will tell you guys, I feel I made a killing with this.
Hey,
Good.
So he spent $1,000 and got about $200 worth of shit.
250.
I got a good amount of stuff. You guys will see it
Got
when
about
the time
250.
comes.
Got about
Alright.
250.
And that's it.
The time
do-
has come, and so have I.
There was one time I actually found something cool at the flea market that I managed to buy, and now it's gone missing. It's my Mobile Suit Gundam Xeon flag.
I'm so sorry.
Hail Xeon.
Exactly. And it went missing. I don't know. Well, all of my flags have gone missing, and I don't know where any of them are. And now I'm kind of mad because I don't think I could get any of them back.
That is sad.
Bum, 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 bum.
Well, it's always sucky when you lose some stuff or if it goes missing.
Yeah.
Right?
I've had that happen to me a couple times before with missing Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
You can never trust the underpants gnomes.
Yeah.
Nope.
But
Hey.
anyway.
Anyways, but so yeah.
On to our main topic of conversation this evening.
Soundtracks.
Yes.
That was
Also
very
known as
tone deaf.
Also known as the episode where we'll have to censor everything so we don't get copyright struck.
Well, we're not playing any actual
Say
parts.
it.
As long as we don't.
We might like jingle it a little bit,
Oh
but
yeah, no, we can jingle.
and
it.
there's no way they can copyright that.
we
so.
can sing it ourselves because that's a cover by default.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
True.
Also, really quick, right before we do start, my recommendation on a webtoon or a model for that
No.
matter.
oh, don't go into
Don't
another
you
20
even
minutes.
think about.
Just say the title and
There's the
summarize
title
and
and a
You
2
guys-
second.
I'll give you about. I could give you 1 minute.
I'm a-
Well,
starting.
yeah, one minute. 1 minute.
I was gonna say.
Was
start
that
the clock.
freaking? Was that clock right now?
I like how we agreed that I'd be able to do this for a minute and a half, and just everyone's like,
You get 1 minute.
Oh my
You
god,
got
he's
one-
gonna go on 20-minute.
All right, you
rants.
ready for this, dude?
Just already
Ready.
start the clock.
You got 1 minute starting now.
Go.
Man, I love how we agreed on this, and I only get like a minute, even though I was
55
promised a minute and a
seconds.
half. But nah. So, anyways, shut the fuck up, Grant. So I recommend. Will you stop that?
No.
TikTok.
Yeah. Anyways, so this month's recommendation is Let's Play. If you like a good rom-com, like you normally rom-coms are kind of bleh, but this one works really well. It's about fucking internet YouTubers who play games and like Let's Players and shit. And a girl.
I know them.
Yeah. But no, so honestly, it's just really well done, and it addresses a lot of important topics when it comes to dating as well as social health and shit like that. No, I highly recommend that. And done.
Okay.
Dang.
Ron-
You got 44 seconds with that. Nice one.
And that was with a 15-second rant about you guys sucking dick too.
Rom-coms suck. Romance is a fool's game to be played by suckers and chumps.
Says the guy who reads Lore Olympus.
Holy shit! I thought I was jaded.
It doesn't mean I agree with it.
Yeah. No, honestly, I think you would enjoy Let's Play. Just saying.
He recommended it to me, and I enjoy it.
Personally, I like playing, not watching. But I do like watching Chris play. Oh.
I'm.
And honestly, with where the story has gone from what I've seen so far, it's good.
Shaka shaka.
But
Yeah.
anyway,
No, honestly, it's really well written. I recommend that every time. So back to soundtracks, though.
So,
Yes.
game soundtracks. Who wants to start with their favorite
Oh.
soundtracks?
I want to go with the fat guy.
Oh, the fat man.
Oh
Yeah.
wow! Do you realize
Which
realize
one?
how little that narrows it down in this group?
Exactly.
Everyone but me and maybe Chris.
Chris is the skinniest one here. Go fuck yourself, fatty.
I don't know. Let's
Grant
see.
looks a little bit more skinny.
I
than
think
me,
I think Chris has more muscle density than me for sure. so.
And therefore, he is skinnier.
Yes.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Muscle
You-
weighs more than fat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're,
that's true.
you're definitely heavier than me, but you're probably in better shape than me too. So
Yeah.
you're
And-
probably like objectively the healthiest
I'm
one,
probably
Chris.
like the least
Yeah.
in shape.
You're in the least.
Nah,
in
No,
You're
no,
shape.
no,
shape.
no, 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 no. Round is a shape.
It is?
Now you're gonna try to get me to do
Badger,
yes.
Badger.
But anyway, Ross.
So Ross, let's start with you.
Oh, where do I start? So many. I mean,
At the beginning.
Yes.
thousands of years ago.
Record
Okay, not
scratch.
that far.
Record scratch. Now I bet you're wondering how I ended up here, huh? Just say your freaking music.
I mean, I've been enjoying the soundtrack of Ghost of Tsushima since I've been playing that
Oh,
lately.
it's such a good
Yeah, it is
game,
good.
right?
It is-
Good old Japanese flutes. Good shit.
Japanese flutes and some good Mongolian.
Yeah.
Goddamn Mongolians.
Mongolians.
Stop breaking my shitty wall.
Hey, but hey, no, if
My
we're gonna
shitty
talk about
chicken.
good because besides good Mongolian food, while I'm talking about music, I'm going to recommend a nice Mongolian band.
The Who?
The Who. I'll call to spare it. Yes, The Who, spelled H-U.
Yeah.
Not to be confused.
Not to be confused with yeah.
Yes.
Not that Who.
Same pronunciation, different spelling.
Different country.
Mongolian metal throat singing.
And they are pretty awesome.
They are pretty awesome.
Also, who forgot to silence their phones?
Not me.
me.
I didn't silence. I always have my
Silence.
phone on silence.
Well, someone's phone just went off.
That was me.
It was Ross.
Come on,
No,
Ross.
I'm a
Always
dumbass.
you.
I'll jar myself for a dumbass.
Thank you.
All right, but music.
Other good one. I mean, we did mention Undertale.
Yes. Classic.
Oh yeah, my favorite. I mean, everyone say, "Ooh, Megalovania." Like, now I got better songs from that game. Bone Trussell.
Bone Trustle's good. I think also the final boss theme was really good too.
That's all right.
I will say this.
Of the peaceful ending.
Battle with a True Hero.
Yep.
I will say this. I never cared for Undertale, but it does have a nice soundtrack.
Yeah. The game's good.
I mean, I don't care much for the original Dapper Blue fight, the Napster Blue fight, but I do have a jazz covering of that fight.
Ooh.
Yes,
Nice.
I want to hear that later.
I will do that. This guy also does a jazz cover of Megalovania, which is okay. And then there's that. Yes, it's not much of a game soundtrack, but you can never underestimate the power of the Me channel.
Of the what channel?
Oh, the what channel?
Do 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 do.
Nintendo Muse.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Creating your
The
Mii's on the
Mii.
Wii.
Yes, the Mii's.
It's a good beat.
It's a bop.
It,
Yeah.
it didn't start out popular, then Overclock remix. Most people were doing it and made the remix, and it's awesome now.
Yeah.
Well, dang.
Oh, I just cracked my finger.
I heard
That's
that.
gotta
Yeah,
feel
that's-
good.
Other good soundtrack. I mean, my favorite spoopy game I've ever, Silent Hill.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Yeah.
Silent Hill 2 particularly.
Yes, Maria's Lisa's theme, I think it was.
Honestly, I enjoy the nice sounds from the one game you play all the time, Dead by Daylight.
DVD. Oh,
Yes.
God, my obsession.
Like honestly, the sound when you're just waiting for a lobby and shit.
Doom, 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 doom.
I should
Yeah.
play that more. I played it like once and I thought it was pretty cool.
When you're playing with friends, it's amazing.
Yeah, I bet
It is.
I bet by yourself it would suck.
And they
but...
just had their anniversary, their 6-year anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Like as of a couple of days ago.
Oh, are they doing the 600 blood points?
Yes, I think they have a cake. They are also doing what's called the Wicked Masquerade, which you get masks for certain characters, and usually on anniversaries they release a new killer survivor, which they did, and a new map came out, and their killer this time is called the Dredge.
Yep. And he took away Zombie Horse.
He took away the zombie horse, but it makes sense with the lore of what the Dredge is, and I'm not going to go into that. But the way this thing looks, I call it Lovecraftian Squidward.
Yeah. No, honestly.
No, this thing
It
looks
does
like
kinda
Lovecraft.
We'll show you pictures of
We'll
it.
show you
Okay.
later.
But that's a badger right now, so we'll bring
But
it
yeah.
back.
I mean, Dead by Daylight, they used to not have it at first, but like over the past few years now, with the past few updates, certain killers of the games, because they always have a chase new theme, certain killers have their own.
Oh,
Yeah.
Also awesome.
Yep.
One of my favorites, they just updated for one of my favorite killers in the game, the Legion, the rockin' soundtrack, which half the time people just want to rock out while they're chasing you.
Yeah. It's such a good soundtrack
It
for,
is.
for
It's
a
good.
nice.
And hell, and then to go with that, there is a group. Someone pointed out a while back in the community I'm part of. There is a group called Dead Rabbits that made a song called "Dead by Daylight,"
yeah, that's
which
pretty
is
dead.
basically referencing the game.
Yep.
You know what's actually funny is that the Dead Rabbits, you know where they actually got their name from? The Dead Rabbits were actually a street gang from 19th century New York that were known to hang around the Bowery district.
Oh, no way. Okay.
Yeah.
I learned something.
Yeah, that's
And their
kinda
mascot
interesting.
was an actual dead rabbit skewered on a pole that they carried. With
Holy shit.
That's pretty metal.
Yeah.
Well, how about that? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's like metal before metal.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
You
like
learned
going
something,
to a new
dear
extreme
viewers.
in my eyes.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it was the 19th century. They didn't mess around back then.
I bet Doom guy was pretty pissed off.
Possibly.
No one beat Doom here besides me.
I
But
mean,
that
I-
actually that's another
we can lead into
that could
into that.
that
Doom.
could be another lead in.
That's some good. That's some good
That
music.
that had both OG Doom and even Eternal great soundtracks.
Yeah, amazing soundtracks.
Yeah, like not my cup of tea exactly, but it's like if I'm in those kinds of like bloodthirsty moods, and
Yeah.
shit, I could use those soundtracks.
I mean, literally, the opening theme is basically Master of Puppets. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
you know you're in for a good track.
But then you go a little off the beaten path, especially if everyone was into it. Homestar Runner.
Of course, yep.
You know, Trogdor technically was a game.
Trogdor
Exactly.
Trogdor
was a man. Yeah,
I
you don't
mean-
jar me for Trogdor.
Yeah,
Oh,
That was
all hell
good.
Trogdor
That
to
was a
Ferdinand.
good inclusion for
Yes.
Guitar Hero 2.
Listen,
Yes, yes, it
I wasn't gonna jar him for Trogdor. I was gonna jar him for screeching like a banshee.
But that's but that's like how the song ends practically.
Yeah,
It
it,
real-
is. You
it
can't
really
miss
is.
that.
It was relevant for
I just did it verbatim, basically.
Yes.
I
And
like
then
I like my hearing.
Another
thank
good
you.
little game, if you've ever played it, there's a good brief game called Stinko Man.
Stinko Man. Yeah, it's like a Mega Man parody.
exactly.
You would love that, Chris.
Which
By the
actually,
way.
Stinko Man
Tell me
came
more
out-
details later.
Yeah.
Stinko Man was actually, it didn't actually, when you first came up, that was actually came out before Trogdor was made.
Yeah.
It was literally the email before the Trogdor.
Oh, was it the
Yes.
one right before?
When someone wrote an email to Strongman asking him to make himself a Japanese cartoon.
Yeah. Yep.
And then, like, on the website of Homestar, you can actually play a game of
Yep.
Stinko Man, and the soundtrack on it is awesome.
Yeah, and they literally like right as Flash support was ending, they made the final level of that.
Yep.
Just so they could say the game was finished. Mm-hmm. Which is
Yeah.
pretty impressive. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I've got for my end right now.
What about you, Green?
Okay.
God, I've got a lot.
Try to keep it to like
18.
3 to 5.
Let's just start with the bare bone basics. So first of all, I got a story here, which you guys already know this story, but this is for everybody else. We're at a Chinese restaurant, right? And freaking, I listened. I'm listening to some music. Yeah, you weren't here yet, Chris. Actually, we
Yeah,
just
you
told
weren't
you
there
about
for this
this,
one
but
yet.
I'm listening to music. It sounds familiar, and it clicks with me. It's literally the alternate timeline of Chrono Cross on the world map, and I'm flipping out. I'm like, holy shit! They're playing Chrono Cross in a Chinese restaurant. This is amazing.
We're
And you
trying to
guys gave me so much shit, but like it was like
Well,
one of those.
you were
Because you were acting
you
like
were
a friggin-
you were fanboying in public.
Yeah.
We were in the middle of a restaurant, surrounded by non-weirdos,
By normies.
and you're just like,
Well,
holy shit.
normies can get out. Yeah, you can jar me for that. But that was like one of, I'm not going to say it was like a moment of glee, but it was like one of those like, wow, I did not expect that, and that's
Even
like one of
when
my
we have
favorite
our nice little
soundtracks.
fanboy joygasms, we try and keep it contained in public.
I'm sorry, I couldn't contain that.
No,
No,
you
I was
No,
Chrono
he-
Crossing
he-
all over the place.
I was concerned that you were going to soil yourself.
No, you see, times when you can let that go, times when you let it go and not give a damn. When you come across your number one hero of all time,
Yeah, okay.
when you come across your number one, I love this woman, man, whatever I am
Yeah.
into, like,
But Chrono Cross is one of my favorite soundtracks, so by
no,
default,
no, you shut your damn whore mouth. You
Like,
shut
yes,
your
you
whore
could be
mouth.
excited that you heard it, but you didn't need to go the way you did.
Yeah, it could have just been a.
Hey, I wasn't that bad.
No.
You're making me sound
No.
like I like stripped in public or something.
You did!
No, I
You
didn't.
might as well have.
You literally jumped at the koi pond.
Yeah, I felt
You were
bad.
gonna jump in that damn
It's like,
quick, we
it's
had
like,
to
it's
pull
like,
you.
it's like, you know, the manager's just like, stupid white boy. Now the fish are gonna smell weird.
And office
Dash
already
racist.
smells like onions.
Oh my goodness gracious!
But anyway, badgering back on
Reeling
in,
it in.
reeling it back in. Yeah, so Chrono Cross and Chrono Trigger are two of my favorites of all time.
Those are pretty good soundtracks.
They are great. I know you're probably going to talk about Final Fantasy. We're obviously not going to mention that right now.
Okay,
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
get to that.
But,
I mean, we get all. About
Honestly,
Final Fantasy.
straight up, Square Enix, like, yes, I'll admit some of their games recently have been kind of hit or miss for me.
Like I said this to you before the podcast
Yeah.
and stuff. It doesn't matter if the game is good or if it's the worst game ever. Every game has a killer soundtrack.
I mean, come
Not
on,
every,
Nobu-
but a lot of
Well,
their
yeah,
games
when
do.
you have,
Yeah.
When you have someone with the power of Nobuo Uematsu behind it,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
that man,
right.
that man has a power.
So if we're talking
physical power in
all
his
time,
mustache.
yeah, if we're talking all time greatest Square Enix soundtracks, I'm gonna say top 5 are gonna be, in my opinion, and probably like if someone mentioned one, I'd be like, oh, that's probably not it. Actually, that would be in the top 5. But anyway, I digress. Both the Chrono games. Both the Nier games, and probably I would say Xenogears. Those would be my top 5.
I can
Nier
get behind
Automata for
Yep.
me personally, because I never actually really played the original Nier.
They are both phenomenal.
I can believe. I take you
Automata is definitely the better of the two, especially nowadays. But when the first Nier came out, like it was kind of like a sleeper hit. Like the people who played it all the way through loved it. But
Yeah, and like I was legitimately surprised when they announced, oh, by the way, we're doing a sequel to Nier. I'm like, wait, what?
yeah,
People
Yeah,
actually played that?
I
game?
know. Yeah, but then
I thought I was the only one.
the first game kind of got trashed by the critics because they didn't really. I hate to say they didn't get it, but it was a slightly clunky game. The
was-
mechanics.
No,
kind of a cult hit.
Yeah.
No, straight up, I'm gonna call it out and stuff. A lot of critics did not fucking get it. I've seen some of the critic reviews, and it's just like, wow, did you even fucking play the game?
Play the
because
same
it was
game.
nothing like what you said.
Right.
And if you can't find the original one for PS3, you can just play it with your replicant.
Well,
Yeah.
I was going to say the new version is the definitive one anyway, because it adds in ending E that they cut originally anyway. So,
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
I'm not going to spoil it, but like, ooh, mwah, chef's kiss. That part was beautifully
Oh,
implemented.
straight up agree with you
Yeah.
on that. Straight up.
Yeah, so obviously I'm a pretty big fan of the two Nier games and a lot of Square Enix's stuff.
But no, wait.
Another one that they released here, that they're actually making a remake of on the Switch, Live Alive. Have you guys ever heard of that? It was Super Nintendo RPG. You play as I think there's 7 characters by default, and then once you beat the 7 characters, you play an 8th character, and then there's a final scenario afterwards
So
too.
like basically the predestined Octopath Traveler. Got it.
It really was actually, but less open than Octopath was.
Yeah. I have to say this real quick since we did bring up Nier. Between both Nier Automata and OG Nier and even Definitive Edition,
Yeah.
my favorite song out of all of them kind of salvation.
Yep.
Like that's
Yep.
straight up. It's so beautiful. It's so.
I'm actually a fan of Emil Sacrifice myself.
so good.
I bought one music box in my life, and it was Emil Sacrifice, and I have it in the room
Even
back
though
there.
Emil kind of creeps me the fuck out sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just his design.
Well, I mean, you know his OG. Well, actually, you haven't played the original Nier, so you haven't even seen what he looks like post transformation. So
Yeah, no. So he used to be a human.
yeah.
Yeah.
He got really weakened when they turned him into that, but they had
Yeah,
to save him.
there's some stuff that happened. Just play the game.
Yeah,
just
I mean,
play it.
Then you got, speaking of Nier, you got freaking Yoko Taro goes
He's-
around
he's-
wearing the Emil head all the time.
He's wild, and I love him.
Yeah. Like, people think Kojima is crazy. Like, nah.
No, Kojima's like sane
Kojima's
compared to
craziness
Yoko
comes out
Taro.
in his games.
Yeah.
As far as the actual personality, Yoko Taro beats him.
Easily.
Nah, I don't know.
For silliness.
Suda 51.
Suda, well, yeah, between those two, but
I mean,
Suda.
I'm not
No,
even
see, Suda is just the
Suda
living.
is way
Suda is
Suda's
the
up
living.
here.
Suda is the living personification of the '80s.
Yes.
Suda never left the '80s.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Suda is way up here. Yoko is about right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yes.
I'm just saying in the weirdness factor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
No, if you're gonna go play weirdness, you can't even touch Skoichi Suda.
Yeah.
He is the master.
Which, as a transition, I wasn't even going to mention this, but No More Heroes.
No More Heroes.
Wow, beautiful
No More Heroes.
soundtrack.
Hey,
Yeah.
even Lollipop Chainsaw.
Yeah. Killer 7's still my favorite game by
The reason I
him,
love
but
Lollipop
You know, it
Chainsaw-
sucks for me. I still haven't even touched a lot of these games you guys are even
oh, you
mentioning.
should be playing them.
Like I said,
Now, to clarify, we are talking about the soundtracks for his games.
Yes.
though, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
just wanna make
yes.
sure.
All the games are great too. Then,
Oh yeah,
so.
no,
The
the
games
games
are
are
great.
Yeah.
fantastic.
So, I mean, come
I
on,
should
no-
start making a list of all these games you're mentioning. So it's like, okay, I gotta play this, play that, play that.
I just remember, you guys gifted me all the damn No More Heroes games except for Travis Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which I
Worth
still
it.
technically have to beat before I start 3.
Yeah, you really should. It's
But I
like
will
2.5.
Oh, I know. I have it on my split. I have it. I just gotta finish it.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Anyways, but no, like,
But I mean, before I'm gonna cut you up,
Go ahead.
my one final point about No More Hero, or at least Lollipop Chainsaw. The reason why I love the soundtrack on that one is because of who helped make part of it, and that would be a guy known as Lil Jimmy Urine, the lead singer of one of my favorite musical acts, Mindless Self-Indulgence.
Ooh.
Hell, he was the voice of Zed the Dead Zombie in that game.
Oh, was he?
One of my favorite boss fights in that whole game.
oh yeah, you showed me that too.
Because, yeah, Zed the Zed Zombie. At some point, he shouts the words, and the letters attack you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Grant,
Hey, who says words don't hurt?
Exactly.
Grant, there was that one game you had years ago. I enjoyed it. We both enjoyed it because it was stupid. I think it was
Okay.
also a Suda 51. Involved, I think it was called like Shadows of the Damned. Or
Yes, Shadows
Yeah.
of the Dead. Yep.
With Johnson.
This is my big boner.
Okay. No. The reason this is
Love
awesome-
Johnson.
Okay. Yes, Shadows of the Dam. Another great Suda game. Suda wrote it. They're all, Shinji Mikami did the
Yeah.
gameplay, and
And EA kind of partially fucked it up. Partially. It was
Well,
still a good game, but
Yeah, but
then-
no, I was
it
talking-
probably would have been a lot
and the
better if
reason
EA
it was
had
so
no.
awesome in it is because Akira Yamaoka, the same guy who did Silent Hill.
Yep. Yep. It was pretty. It's in theory it should have been a match made in heaven, and in reality it was a well above average.
But of
game, I
course,
would say.
EA had to ruin everything like
Yes,
they always
exactly.
do.
Yep. Honestly, though, I didn't care much for the gameplay of the game.
Gameplay I thought was pretty good.
No, like it was good. It just wasn't my cup of tea personally.
Okay.
Fair
But
enough.
the soundtrack was made me like, I want this game.
It was very like it kind of had that like what would you describe it? Kind of like otherworldly sound, I guess.
I mean,
I
sort
mean-
of.
Akira Yamaoka, that's what he does.
Yeah.
I mean, otherworldly in the sense of like, oh hey, it's a shooter game, but we're gonna act like a hack and slash guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of. Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and like the music matched that just fine too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I was-
especially when you got the phone booth stripper level.
Yeah. Because
I remember that level.
Yeah.
we were playing that together.
I remember there was the one level where you're running around on like the naked body of like the
That's what
girl,
I'm
and I'm
talking
just
about.
like, this
That's
this
what
game
I'm
is so
talking about.
weird. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
like that's the level I'm talking about because the entire thing is like a little thing. That's where you get the big boner. Like, you're shooting the demons, and every time you transition, you level. That's the level. That's what you're watching.
Honestly, like that game could have been so much better. Like I enjoyed it, but that game could have been like a top 10.
That basically made it look like a 2D shooter.
Yeah, that game could have been so much better, but it was already pretty good. It's just like, I wish they would remake
Needed
it. And,
more.
yeah, it needed more. It was too short too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here, Kelly. What you got soundtrack wise?
Actually, I kind of actually want to go last, so you and Chris can duke it out to see who goes next.
All right, Chris. you
Then
go.
I'll let you go
Oh,
first.
no. Please be my guest. Please be my guest.
Well, as you guys know, I brought with
Besides
me a
Mega
couple.
Man.
Yeah, I love Mega Man to death, but however, I had to pick my favorite series of Mega Man, and I love the soundtrack for it, the X series.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
And I'm giving my
definitely.
number 1 to X2. That soundtrack was killer
Still
for
for
me.
the old school ones, you can never go wrong with Woodman.
Indeed.
My brain is always lacking. Which one had Magma Dragoon? 4?
That's X4, yes.
Yeah, that's my soundtrack.
Chill
right there.
Which that
Penguin.
is another
Yeah.
banging
That's the
soundtrack
original.
stage,
Yeah,
dude.
X1.
Yep.
Storm Eagle.
Storm Eagle. Dude, I love Storm Eagle.
I just
stage.
think X1 was just a great game.
It really
It
was.
was
Yeah.
when it came out.
You know,
It still is.
you know, I'm gonna say it. If Kelly was a Mega Man villain, he'd be Storm Eagle.
Probably. Yeah.
See, I always
I could
thought
see
I
that.
was more like Flame Mammoth.
Eh,
You see, I
nah.
can see that, but he rages more than you do.
Yeah, you're much more of a Storm Eagle.
And also, considering we were talking about Top Gun, ranting about that
Actually,
earlier.
yeah, you would be more like Storm Eagle, honestly.
I mean, let's face it, the Storm Tornado is the best weapon in that game.
All right,
one
who-
of the best,
who-
yes.
Dare I ask who I would be? Wait for it.
Boomer Kuwanger.
Yeah, no, I might have to agree with you on that one. I can see
like
it.
Boomer
And
Quanger.
he'd be Steve
For-
Chameleon.
I like Overdrive Ostrich in the second one. That was the second one, right?
Yeah, Overdrive
I would
Ostrich
give
was
him
the
for Steve
second one.
Chameleon.
Okay.
I wouldn't call Chris Chameleon though because
No.
he does when Chris roams around somewhere he sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. So you know, actually, who he would be? Spark Mandrill.
Yeah, I could see
Ah,
that.
yeah, I can see myself with the Spark Mandrill syndrome going right
Does
now.
that make him Chill Penguin?
No, I think he'd be Armored Armadillo.
Yeah,
I could rock with
I could see
Armadillo.
Armadillo.
Okay, then if I'm not Flame Mammoth, I'll be Chill Penguin. I mean, I do the Penguin after all. I
Yeah,
have been.
yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
So-
either Mammoth or Penguin, I can see
Yeah.
that.
But reeling us back in.
Yeah, and back to the soundtracks though.
Yep. Now, from one of my favorite beat 'em up, you can't go wrong with the soundtrack of Streets of Rage 2. Oh, by Yuzo Koshiro.
Right.
And as we
Right.
can see, you have the vinyl for that right here.
Yes.
Have you ever played ActRaiser, Chris?
No, I have
Say-
not, but I've
I've
heard
played-
the name a couple
It's
times
fantastic, and the remake actually is pretty good too, and it has a redone
little stuff.
soundtrack by him as well. So
before. Yeah.
See-
A couple tracks from Streets of Rage 2, which I mentioned. Number 1, you can never go wrong with the stage 1 on Go Straight. Then we got stage 3 with at the kind of nighttime vibe.
yeah,
And plus, who doesn't love the boss theme, honestly?
yeah.
True.
Honestly,
True that.
I think that Streets of Rage might be the most. I'm not gonna say the most underrated Sega soundtrack, but like of the ones that aren't like Sonic the Hedgehog, they're like overly hyped. Yeah, Streets of Rage 2 might be number one.
And since you mentioned Sonic the Hedgehog, that's another game series
Yeah.
is for soundtracks I like.
Of course.
And number 1, I'm giving to Sonic Mania for that.
Oh yeah, of course.
And with all the
Never wrong,
redone
good old-
soundtracks, since that game is a freaking love letter to
Oh,
us
yeah.
2D Sonic
And if we're
fans
going to
anyway.
go with awesome Sonic sound, just by stages alone, Pumpkin Hill.
Oh,
Yes,
oh yes,
we
yes.
That's
Sonic Adventure 2 in
That's way
general.
fuck up.
That's a nut. I'll give that one to second place for best soundtrack.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
me.
I'll probably be the odd one out, but I'm gonna say the greatest Sonic soundtrack.
Wait
song.
I
for
know
it.
what you're
I know
saying,
what you're gonna say.
thinking.
no, I don't.
Everybody
So, yes, Sonic R. I knew you were gonna
Try to
say
keep
that.
your feet
right
on the ground. When you're
Supersonic
supersonic racing, there's no time to look
Look
around.
God, I love that song. No matter, it's so catchy.
Honestly, it
Wait,
is
wait,
a
wait,
great
no.
soundtrack.
So
and
we
I can't
living in
even
the
lie.
city tonight?
Living in the city.
Wait. Sonic
Hero,
Hero.
no!
No, honestly, I love the opening to Sonic Heroes, but it was-
Actually, and the theme and the music in the Casino Zone is pretty good too.
oh yeah,
Casino Night Zone is just
no, like honestly,
one of my favorite levels.
my top 4 Sonic game
that
soundtracks
barrel.
goes to Sonic R, Sonic Heroes, Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
I was gonna say Sonic Ice Cap Zone. Yeah.
That is another good one. Which, come to little side note for this. Rumor has it for the upcoming Sonic Origins collection, they might be
No,
removing all the Sonic Michael Jackson
They
songs.
confirmed it actually.
And,
Yeah.
That could almost be a deal
Sonic-
breaker for
That
me.
that
but-
kind of is for me. So
But
also-
I'm still gonna get it though.
I bet if you get it on Steam, you could probably mod it in.
if I
probably.
may, if
Well,
I may.
Steam is probably gonna be my primary
Okay,
choice
okay,
anyway.
Yeah, there you go.
gentlemen.
If I may, the last one, Sonic Adventure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Sonic Adventure
And
2
then-
specifically.
But
though.
no, both. Like,
Well, yeah, both
I
are
don't,
great.
I don't know. Especially the DX director's cut of the original Sonic Adventure is
pretty good.
It's good.
Overall,
Not to mention, it was also our introduction to probably the greatest music group ever, Crush 40.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like they
Sonic
did
game's
not have to
horrible.
go nearly as hard as they went, but they went hard and
Well,
it was
yeah,
worth
especially
it.
in like the ones that made the horrible Sonic games like Black Knight and Secret Rings.
Yeah.
And
that was
also,
like-
fun fact,
what-
I actually did get a chance to meet those guys, John Ngoyle and Jun Sonoe.
Yeah.
Also, just a shout out to I can't talk. John St. John for playing Big the Cat and also Duke Nukem. Like, how do you go from like the coolest character to the least coolest character and make it work?
Money.
Well, yes, that's true.
Plus, he's-
Because he's the Duke, and he will do whatever it takes to get the job done.
Exactly.
Duke have my Froggy? I want my Froggy. It's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum?
You know, I'm not gonna lie.
That's it. No. Next time we see Mr. St. John, next time we see him, Mr.
You need to have him record that.
We need to have him say that line as Big.
Yes.
No, like
yes.
straight up, I will admit this. I would totally play or watch a show with Big the Cat dressed as Duke Nukem.
That would kind of be amazing.
Big Nukem.
and it was
Big
Big
Nukem.
Nukem.
Big Nukem.
I'd love to see
And I'll
that.
have-
Or Duke the Cat.
Or Duke the
or
Cat.
why not take like
Big
what was
Duke
his
the
name? E10.
Omega?
Yeah, Omega. Why not take Omega's move set, put in Big the Cat, and then like skin it so that Big the Cat is dressed up like Duke Nukem, but like it plays the Duke Nukem or the Omega levels.
No.
I'm trying to think like how you could make like a ROM hack.
Yeah,
of this.
I want the adventures of Big Nukem.
Yeah,
now.
exactly. Yes.
I want the adventures of Big Nukem. Sega, make it happen.
Yes.
Big Nukem or Duke the Cat. Either one.
No, I like Big Nukem
Big
better.
Nukem is better.
And if we're going to talk about Sonic things, Sonic gave us one of the most anxiety-inducing sounds ever.
This is what PTSD is made of.
It really was. No, honestly, when watching the second Sonic movie, I was expecting that thing to pop up.
And it did.
They didn't,
Yeah.
but we got the bubble.
Yeah.
we got the
No,
bubble.
no. If you actually listen to the music, it's actually it is the drowning theme. It's just slowed down.
I'll have to re-listen to that.
Yeah.
But like fucking.
Because I went back and someone had a clip of it on the interwebs, and they're like, no, that actually is the music. It's just slowed down.
I'll have to look this up.
We'll look it up after the
Like
podcast.
that gave me
Yes.
the biggest amount
Oh.
of anxiety outside of playing the game Perfection.
And two other, I know there's so many soundtracks I like, but a couple I don't think get mentioned much. For me, Earthworm Jim.
That's fair.
That's a good soundtrack right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially the Andy Asteroids, Andy Asteroids bits. I love that.
Oh yes.
You gotta love that good country techno all around with the asteroids.
And I'm gonna count this as a whole, even the remaster, DuckTales.
DuckTales.
It will never leave. It will never leave.
You can't go wrong with the moon level.
The moon level. Oh yeah, the moon
Exactly.
level.
The moon level.
The moon level's the best level.
You know
theme.
what's sad though is that when we finally get comments and stuff, people will be like, "Oh look, more people like the moon level. What a shot!" I'm
Yeah.
like, look,
The
just
moon
'cause
level's
Just 'cause
awesome.
it's awesome, and
just
you
'cause-
can't handle the fact that it's awesome.
No, like just because
That's your problem.
like there's nothing wrong with everyone agreeing.
You
that
don't have to
something
be a
is amazing.
contrarian. It's not that cool
Yeah.
to be a contrarian.
Not
That-
anymore. That was so early.
That was
2000s.
yeah.
That was so 885.
That was so 2010.
That was so 1973.
That was
That
so
was so
1348,
1963.
back when the Incans invaded.
And I'm done.
All right.
And we're done.
Before you make that a jar joke,
Before you-
I'm just.
Before you even
Nip it in the bud.
Yeah,
Nip
let's
it in the bud.
reel it back
Lift it
in.
up.
So Legend of Zelda, anyone?
I love Legend of
Who
Who
Zelda.
does not love The Legend of Zelda?
Now,
We touched on it last time.
now I see here we have the soundtrack for Ocarina of Time 3D
Good
version.
shit.
3D.
See, now this is a good soundtrack. Me personally, though, gotta go with Majora's Mask still.
I don't blame you. Majora's
blame
Mask
you.
is pretty
Fair.
great.
Hey,
Fair.
Twilight Princess still has
Although
some good shit,
I do have the soundtrack, personally, I gotta go with Link to the Past soundtrack.
That's
Yeah, Link to
also
the Past
good.
is a classic.
I would take Link to the Past over Ocarina on that one, yeah.
For Ocarina giving me my personal favorite Zelda song of all time. That's Gerudo
Gerudo Valley, yep. Ocarina of Time just had a great
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
soundtrack overall.
Yeah. Oh,
But
love that
let's see here. I think my next soundtrack by Legend of Zelda, if I had to pick one, tied between Breath of the Wild and
Breath of the Wild barely had a sound.
It does have
It was-
some
it was-
pieces of music
there
every
was.
now and then, just not a lot.
It was
yeah.
just a lot of ambience.
You see that's what I like about its soundtrack
Yeah.
though is that it's few and far between.
Okay.
And sometimes fewer is better.
It could be.
It does.
It's true. You don't always have to go big.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out, for example.
Yeah, you don't
True.
need, you don't need like 30,000 songs in one video game.
No, you
Yeah.
don't.
And then to find out only like 10 of those songs were worth it, the rest of them mean shit.
Like when it comes to like something like that, like Mike Tyson's Punch Out, I only remember two. Like each fighter has their own little thing, but people only remember like two parts of it.
The reason I just say that Breath of the Wild wasn't like.
Dun-dun-dun, when you're actually fighting, and then when the train levels. Dun, 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 dun.
Yep.
I was just saying that Breath of the Wild, it's like when I think soundtrack, I think like ambience. I don't think soundtrack. So
No.
by default, I don't think it could be like one of the
get
best soundtracks.
No, I'll give you that. I'll give you
you.
that. So buy Breath of the Wild, get the fuck out of here like you should. Anyways, but if I had to pick my next favorite Zelda soundtrack, probably had to be OG.
Yeah, I can
That
agree.
is- it's still a classic.
Every single one of those tracks in that game are phenomenal.
Yeah.
There's only like a few, but
Like
they're
that-
all
that
great.
dungeon theme.
Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of have to give it to the last castle theme for that one, honestly. Since that's where it gets you really your heart pumping big time and throws everything at you.
Yeah.
Now, Chris, I see you brought a soundtrack for a game series I don't care for, so I can't really
Persona.
comment much on that.
I
the Persona
I've never actually
games.
really played it, so I
Have you
no
played
idea.
any of the Persona games?
I played the first and I think the second.
I'm
back
sorry,
in the
I
day.
don't feel like wasting 400 hours of my life.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I
Thank
played
you.
them back
Honestly,
in the day though.
My
So.
introduction was Persona 4. Love that soundtrack.
Yeah.
Persona 5, however, I kind of feel blows that soundtrack away just a
Yeah,
little
Persona
bit.
3
Well,
I-
then again, it depends on how you feel the mood is. for what you
Persona
like.
3 was the
Persona-
best. I don't care what anyone
Persona
says.
I got to
Fighting.
get to work on that eventually.
Persona 5, a game where you can beat the Grim Reaper because you have the flu.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
That's why I'm
Seriously?
laughing.
You can actually beat the Grim Reaper if you got the flu?
Yeah,
Well,
it's like the kind of the
specifically,
workaround.
okay. So you know how there's like the one level in Persona 5 where like you're traveling around in a van. When if you travel around so far, you'll start to hear the change.
Yeah,
So if you fight the
I
Reaper
got caught by the Grim Reaper
Yeah.
purposely.
But if you do that bit during the in-game thing called the flu season, it gives him like a bunch of super stat effects, and you can kick his ass.
I feel like 3 was the best because it had the best like Shin Megami feel while also like forging its own identity. 4 and 5 had like the animal mascots, which I thought were kind of lame. 3 just had the best balance of being like the first two, but like also like the bridge between 4 and 5 as well. That's just my unpopular opinion.
Right.
Also, the music in that game was ballin' when it came out too.
I like the soundtrack of the first game because that's the only one I finished.
The first one's the weakest though. Like I actually just recently played the first one. It's very bare bones. It's okay.
I like it.
Persona 2 was better though for sure. So
All right.
I played like I want to say halfway through 2, and then I lost it. I was like, well, I'll never play that again.
Thankfully, 1 and 2 got remade for the PSP.
well, the first half of 2 got remade. 2 actually is 2 games.
Really?
There's Innocent Sin, and then there's the one that we got in America, the second half, which was
America.
Eternal Punishment. So we got the second half of a 2-part game. Think about that for a
How
sec.
about that?
Wow, that's interesting to know.
Good old Atlas,
Learn
right?
something different.
And then when they re-released it, we got the first half only and not the second half. So we can't win.
Well, I don't know. With
With
today's existing technology, maybe Atlas can actually go back and give us the full experience.
That would definitely be awesome if they could re-release it.
Blaze
Blue.
Good shit.
Oh,
Guilty,
that is
Guilty
really good.
Gear,
Wait,
Guilty
wait,
Gear.
Wait,
What's Guilty
really
Gear
quick.
was?
Guilty Gear. No,
Okay.
Guilty Gear was both of them were Arc System.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Wait, really quick. Back to what Chris said about how with modern technology, Atlas could just remake them. The same argument with Nintendo, they won't. So we
LMAO.
have to steal it. And then they'll be like, why are you stealing my shit?
Why
Sell
don't
it
you
to me."
sell it to
Because
us?
you won't let us buy it.
If we can
Give
have a
them
serious
time. Maybe
discussion
they'll-
about piracy,
I
piracy
say
is more
maybe
of
give
a.
them time. Maybe they'll do
heck,
it.
people were using that same argument for years for the 7 remake.
Well, the reality is that piracy is a platform problem, not a consumer problem. If consumers can't buy something, they're going to pirate it.
Yeah.
And yes, they might pirate it regardless, but they're going to drastically drop.
I do like some companies' way of combating piracy. Cause if you pirate the game, there are certain things that fuck up.
That's always those.
That is true.
That's always fun.
Like the one Michael Jackson,
Moonwalker.
no, not Michael Jackson Moonwalk
Experience.
on the what the fuck?
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Michael Jackson experience.
Yeah, no, if you pirate that one stuff, the game will literally be like, oh, fuck you.
Another,
I remember Serious Sam 3, I think, like you have a giant
scorpion
enemy.
thing.
Yeah, the scorpion's
big
following you
scorpion.
the entire game.
and you can't kill it.
Yeah.
Well, we can go on. Like that's another subject.
Yeah,
for another
that's
time.
definitely. A
I
different-
pulled up the Just Dance because soundtracks.
Yeah,
Right.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
But hey, Just Dance had "Beep Beep I'm a Sheep" on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm a sheep.
It said beep beep. I'm a sheep.
Next
Meow.
soundtrack.
Meow meow. I'm a cow. I said meow meow.
No!
Good timing. Good
Very
timing.
good timing.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of ASDF good songs, Muffin Song. We'll leave it at that.
Yep.
If you know the song, you do. If you
you
don't,
like-
we'll
if you-
play it later.
If you like ASDF, just look it
Support
up.
Tom Scook because he's awesome.
Love that guy.
Other good soundtracks.
I mean, I think Chris has got his list. If he
Well,
if he does
anything I don't have here, I got it marked on my phone, honestly. You can't go wrong with good Metal Gear, honestly.
Yes.
I noticed you have the Tales of Symphonia.
The
Yes.
Tales games, good soundtrack.
Yeah.
Symphonia was my introduction to the Tales series.
Yeah, same.
I do love that.
I've never cared for any of the games, but I do like the music.
I feel the Tales games are kind of an acquired taste. It's either I give it a try, you don't like it, or you
I
do
thought
love
it was sweet because you could play 2-player co-op on the GameCube, and me and a friend played the whole game through, and that was a lot of fun.
Funny enough, I'd actually love to do a playthrough of a co-op experience.
If you
Granted,
ever-
it's just one player on the field map, which is going to be boring for everyone else.
Yeah, but the actual
But, however, though, if you get everyone combined and in a good combo movement on the field, ooh, I'd love
the
to see
battle
that.
system in Symphonia was sweet back in the day too.
The only Tales of game that I've actually shown interest in actually getting and playing, the new one that came out. What was it called?
Tales
Berseria?
of Arise, you mean?
That's it.
The only one I actually played was Tales of Vesperia.
The only one that I ever even dabbled in was Tales of Legendia.
Ah, the PS2 game. That's still a good one. And I'm going to go on record, the saddest Tales game I've ever played.
Oh yeah, no, like it
It
full
hurt.
on-
It pulls on. It pulls on hard.
they did Moses dirty. They did Moses dirty in that game so bad.
Yeah, they did. But it's, even still, that was just another good soundtrack.
I might have to stream all of that game.
I'll have to play it more. I've only
When we
actually
get streaming
played.
off the ground, I'll let you do it.
I've only
Oh, no, I
played
know, like YouTube
through
stream.
Symphonia and Fantasia, the very first one. Those are the only two I've ever actually beat.
Now we mentioned Blaze Blue earlier.
Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear, both by Arc
Good
System Works.
fighting. I mean, fighting games have had some good stuff.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Blaze Blue's good, but Guilty Gear's even better.
Wait,
When
it
it-
just-
Sadly for me, I've never touched Guilty Gear.
Wait, it
Guilty
just-
Gear's sweet.
Wait,
you have a
just-
guy whose name is Soul Bad Guy. I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm.
You know you're not going to be
Yeah,
disappointed.
oh, yeah, no, yeah, because Blade had Ragnar.
Wait, so it just
Yeah.
hit-
Guy, that guy,
That
Which
guy.
Who's guy?
There's literally a guy in Guilty Gear called That Man, who's
Okay,
one of the
okay.
antagonists.
Now,
All right,
he's
well,
trying to make a point.
yeah,
here,
reel
sorry.
it in. Sorry,
You're in.
we are
After
really
you.
awful at talking over people. I'm just gonna say
Yeah.
that.
we really
And
are.
we will be forever and ever.
Yes.
Now
It's-
we'll try to get better.
It's kind of our gimmick, though. But
Emphasis
go,
on try.
but go on, go on.
Our gimmick is badgers,
Oh yes,
Yeah.
and we're gonna keep the badgers,
and Jar.
especially Jar.
Specifically for you.
yes, yes.
Audience, you can't see this right now, but I'm staring at him with dagger eyes.
I'm naked right now. No, I'm just kidding. I'm wearing.
He wishes.
I'm wearing clothes.
Anyways,
What were
but-
you saying?
But no, so like back at our fighting games episode, did any of us even mention Blaze Blue or fucking?
I think we might.
I think
we
I,
mentioned Guilty Gear.
I think I alluded to Guilty Gear because didn't I say Heaven or Hell? Let's rock. I think
Possibly.
we
I
briefly
did.
mentioned it, but no detail.
Yeah.
I could have swore we did. Man, I feel like we didn't do
But
it
then
at
again,
all.
we had like.
I mean, there's a lot of fighting games, and our episode was already 3 freaking hours long anyway.
Yeah.
Wait,
So
was our episode 3?
Yes.
it was the longest one to date. Yeah.
Oh shit!
we
And
gotta-
consider
we
that
gotta
a
keep
prelude.
This, yeah, we gotta keep this
Plus, you know,
contained.
forget.
Yeah.
I kind of lost memories of some of that thanks to all the smoke bombs.
Yeah.
Anyways, but no,
But
so
if we're gonna
like,
talk about good fighting game one briefly, the one fighting game theme that goes with everything we all know. is
Street
good.
Fighter.
Guile's theme.
Specifically, Guile's theme.
Yeah.
It goes with everything.
Like the,
Yes.
I saw it with like Mufasa dying in Lion King. I'm like, holy shit, this actually
One of
does
my-
work.
No, one of my favorite uses of Guile's theme goes with everything is for the movie Escanaba into Moonlight.
Nah, I love
But
that
the
movie.
best fart joke scene ever done.
mega
Oh,
fart.
I've seen that. You showed me that clip actually.
Yes.
let's see here. Games with great soundtracks. Any anime-based game.
I mean, you're not wrong.
That's-
or at least
good.
like anime style game.
No. I mean specifically like, okay, My Hero Academia. There's like several games for it, and guess what? They just take the soundtrack from the show, throw it in there. Maybe we'll add one or two specifically for the game, in which bomber banger fucking hits.
Like,
And, like-
Tenkaichi had good stuff.
Oh yeah.
DBZ's, Fighters.
Yeah.
Anytime a anime based game doesn't have a good soundtrack is when the anime itself didn't have a good soundtrack.
Right.
And I will, unpopular opinion, I will die on this hill. I enjoyed Attack on Titan originally. Its soundtrack is garbage in my opinion.
I have no opinion.
And I thought it
Never-
was
I
fine.
haven't watched the anime, so I have no opinion.
Yeah.
You know, it just actually occurred to me. Hey, if you guys still have copyright music, one game I got that goes good with that, Brutal Legend.
I don't think anyone's going to deny that
I was
here.
literally gonna bring that up too.
Ass kickers.
I literally just thought of it before we started recording.
I mean, how
Yeah.
can you not appreciate the
Jesus
soundtrack
Christ,
in Brutal
Ozzy
Legend?
Osbourne's in that game.
and
Lemmy.
freaking Jack
Lemmy.
Black.
Yeah.
And don't forget
And,
Lemmy.
and Dio was going to be in the sequel if he didn't die, and they made what they said.
Rip
Uh,
Dio.
Rest in peace,
I
Dio.
forget who played the voice of General Lion White in that game.
that was Rob,
Here,
wasn't it
I
Rob
think
Halper?
Devicculous
Was Rob Halper in that?
I thought
Tim
it
Curry
was.
was ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what I was about to mention.
That game had
also
like a
the leader
killer
of the Drowning
voice
Sorrow.
actors, that's for sure.
Yeah, I
didn't
do
get-
wish they could still do a sequel, but how can you now?
Yeah, it's not worth it now.
No.
That, like,
It's kinda like- it's
Plus,
like-
I'm not 100%, but I think now
Rob
these days-
Halford.
I thought it was Rob Halper.
He was in that? No shit.
Yeah, no, I had to pull that up.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Judas
I thought
Priest
it-
is
I
one of
thought
my
it
favorite
was.
bands ever,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother finishing my sentence, but with the soundtrack
that
that added to that,
Drowning Sorrow,
Yeah.
Love it.
Basically,
Perfect.
the emo goth faction of that game.
Yeah.
Heck, they were playing Mr. Crowley during the scene where the girl goes into the water over there.
Oh, I love that song.
yes.
Dude, Ozzy has some good stuff.
Oh no,
Yeah.
Ozzy has a lot of good shit.
Yeah.
I can't think of a song by Ozzy I don't like.
Black Sabbath and Ozzy solo, they're both great. Obviously,
yeah.
Just like System of a Down and Serge Shankian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, even Darren's Scars on Broadway.
Yeah. Like honestly, it's really hard to come across a music group / guy who went independent that you don't like at some point.
Unless you didn't already like him in the first place.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, outside of that. Anyways, but back to video game soundtracks though. But yeah, Brutal Legend is fucking top tier. Yeah, it's
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's mostly licensed music, but so
Who
fucking-
doesn't? Who cares? It's
So
music
worth
nonetheless.
it.
It's
Yeah.
a video game.
Yeah.
How can you not? It's like, yeah, you can't appreciate that.
If you like metal music, you're gonna like Brutal Legend.
Yeah,
old
it's
school
that.
metal.
Yeah, it's that
Old
simple.
school metal
Yeah, like
and hard
And
80s,
some rock and roll.
Yeah, 80s
Metal-
and 70s.
Yeah, metal, rock, hard rock, glam, glam
a
metal.
little bit of glam.
some,
Yeah.
some death metal here and there and stuff.
Yep. I mean, one of the,
If you
one
like
of the
good
missions
music,
you-
there's a good chance you'll like it.
literally one of the missions is you go to get spider webs so Lemmy can play a bass.
Yeah.
So he can make a better bass.
Yes.
Because
And it's-
originally his strings break.
Exactly.
And it's Lemmy being Lemmy.
Yeah.
Telling you to
Honestly, though, if we were just talking about that game can go on for hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we got to keep
but
this
we
rolling.
got to keep this
All right.
moving.
I'm pretty sure we've set our piece on Brutal Legend as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it had one of the great startups ever. But we'll go.
Okay.
We'll move on.
Yep. But no, so I'm gonna bring in the. There is not one Final Fantasy game in this world that does not have a bomber banger soundtrack.
You're probably
Like-
right.
Even 13.
I played with
Right.
Fiat with him.
13 it was.
13 is one of the worst games in the franchise,
Yeah.
and it still
and it
has a
still
great
has a
soundtrack.
good soundtrack.
outside of what they had Mariah Carey sing.
We're running down a hallway.
That wasn't Mariah.
That
Carey.
was
Lewis.
yeah, Lewis.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Leon
What?
Lewis.
Leon Lewis. Okay, yeah. Wait, I could swear that it was.
No.
either
Yeah, I
way.
don't think
Well,
Mariah
either
was on.
way.
Either way, no, like fucking nothing against them. It's just they should have just stuck with what it was originally supposed to be.
First.
Versus 13. Yeah.
That was what 15 was.
They should have stuck with that, but that was different
15
anyway.
was supposed to be versus 13.
Yeah,
which-
that's
That's
fine. I know.
true.
Which we'll talk about that in another.
That
episode.
could be its own podcast
But-
episode.
But no, like but every Final Fantasy, even the spin-offs and smaller ones always
Like
have
Tactics.
the Crystal Chronicles.
Mystic Quest battle theme is a freaking banger for a really shitty spin-off,
Oh
by the
yeah,
way.
Crisis
No,
Core.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
Dirge
mobile
of
core.
Cerberus.
Yeah.
Dirge Server.
The
yeah.
mobile-
With freaking Gok providing that absolutely insane climactic song at the finale.
10 had some good ones.
Yeah, 10,
10
definitely.
is an absolute.
10's a classic.
masterpiece. No, like
What
if,
can I do for you?
yeah.
Well, that's
What can I
10
do
too,
for you?
but
no, I'm 10, 2, and 10 are the same thing. You shut your whore mouth.
it's the second part of it.
You shut your whore mouth.
They're two different games.
You shut your whore
I will
mouth.
ban you from this podcast.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying they're two. This is the second half of the first game.
It is still 10. It is gonna be that.
But it's
It's
10
still-
2,
If
not
I-
10
but it's
1.
still
It's 10
the
2.
entire-
Boys,
if I say 7, I refer to all of it,
Even the remake?
even the remake.
Okay,
Even
good.
the remake.
No, because it's still 7. And no matter what, whether it's Dirge of Cerberus, Crisis Core,
before Crisis.
Advent Children, before Crisis, or remake 7, it's still 7.
Because it's all the same universe.
Yes.
Same with 10 and 10 too. Same universe.
Yeah. Now, given just because like OG7 was back in the good like fucking PS1 graphic
97,
times,
yeah.
Ye olden days.
and so the
The
soundtrack,
good old days.
and so the soundtrack isn't as good as like Dirge of Service or Crisis Core. Guess what?
it's still pretty good.
It's all still 7.
But it's,
I mean,
it's
I got
better.
I got 3 words for you. One-winged angel.
Yes.
Enough
You
said.
you have arrived at the moment of pants crappingness when the
That's
chorus
right.
is singing in Latin.
For me though, guys, Dancing Mad from Final Fantasy VI. Mwah!
I'm sorry. No, Dancing Man's great, but One Wing Angel drowns out any other villain song.
You hear those violins start and you realize, oh
shit.
no.
like,
Oh no.
like even if Sephiroth ended up being the worst villain, not worse in the sense of like evil, worse in the sense of like lackluster or some shit. Even if he ended up being the most lackluster villain
can't
out
deny
of
what
any
you
of them.
No
He
one-
has the
no-
most insane theme
I don't
music
think
ever.
anyone's
I mean,
going to deny that.
It's so craziness. There is a wrestler who uses his finishing move called the One-Winged Angel.
You showed me that too.
And his name is Kenny Omega.
Yeah. Which you know, if I was to pick a wrestler to be my stand, it'd be Kenny Omega because of that.
So kind of
Hell, he has other moves. He has a move called the V trigger.
right, like you know,
Trigger,
Fuck,
nice.
I'm in love with this guy.
like talking about One Winged Angel, it's kind of
Canadian.
going into one of the games I wanted to talk about. It's obviously the Kingdom Hearts franchise.
Oh,
yes.
Yoko Shimomura absolutely knocks it out of the park. The version of One Winged Angel that you hear in Kingdom Hearts 2 when you have to go 1v1 with Sephiroth,
Oh,
you're
that's
just like
fine.
you're just like nope. It is it and even if you go into that fight prepared, you are going to be prepared for pain unless you know what you are doing.
And
No,
show me
no,
that-
no, no.
You will stop that right now.
Heck,
No,
even
that-
the lingering will fight difficult.
Oh, but no, like seriously, fighting Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 1, I agree with you. Fuck. But Kingdom
Now,
Hearts,
even in 2, if you don't know what you're doing, you can be in trouble real
no, like,
quick.
first time ever in 2 and stuff, yes, I'll agree with you. Anything after their first time fighting him, it's like, oh wait, no, just hit triangle. I'm done.
2 is just way easier than
Wow,
the first
that
one.
Start-
only,
Yeah, I
that
gotta
only
get
works
the-
to deflect
Yeah.
2 is
one
the easier
move.
fight.
Hey,
It
1
is.
is harder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh,
Kingdom
no,
Hearts.
what-
Start the game mashing one button, then finish the game mashing 2 buttons.
Yep. No, like honestly, Kingdom Hearts 1, you have to be level 100 to fight that.
Yeah.
fucking-
Absolutely.
Not exactly.
No,
since
like- I know there are some people out there who can beat him at like level 50 and shit, but Kingdom Hearts 2, you can fight him at 25 and still win.
If
My
you know,
strategy is
if
primarily-
you know what you're doing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
You
you
can't
can't
just-
make sure you
you
mash the
can't-
triangle button at the right time. Sorry.
well,
Jar.
my strategy with Sephiroth in 1, I forget which attack it was where you keep throwing the Keyblade at him.
Yeah.
Strike Raid.
Yeah, that's the one. That's my strategy all the
Oh
time.
yeah, no, Strike Raid saves your butt so many times in that fight.
Yes.
But yeah, no, like, but no. If I had to pick a handful of Final Fantasies though, with my favorite soundtracks, gonna have to go with. Well, actually, what about you guys?
Best Final Fantasy.
Nice one dropping your keys.
6
dude.
and 7 are where Final Fantasy in general
Yeah,
peaked, in my opinion.
Definitely 7.
6 and 7 easily.
8's got some good ones.
Oh, eight's got some
Eight,
bangers.
I didn't like 8 as a game all that much, but 8's soundtrack might be
Like,
like
8
top
could've been
3.
a better game if you didn't have to do all the junctioning.
Yeah, and just the plot is all over the place.
And Triple Triad.
Yeah, well, you didn't have to do it
First of
though.
all, I like.
And I like
Triple
Triple Triad,
That game-
yeah.
If Triple Triad was a real game, I would collect that and play that.
Yeah, I like Triple Triad.
Someone actually
guys.
did make an actual game on
Somebody
Etsy
did,
you
I
could,
think, did.
do for that for.
They did. I don't know.
Another good couple of songs from 4. The
Yeah.
Love Theme.
4, yep, 4 was great.
Oh yeah.
You never go
Pretty
wrong.
much 4 did
Love
like
Theme.
Final Fantasy like 10. That was like the golden age of Final Fantasy right
I mean,
there.
6 had some good ones too.
We're talking about soundtracks, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
oh well, and games too. I would
Yeah.
say 4 to 10 is like where Final Fantasy was at its peak.
You know, well, clearly you're going to be ignorant right now and not mention 14.
Well, I'm saying this is the peak of like from this point to this point. There's
Well,
been
when you
highs
go
and
as Final
lows.
Fantasy, it was like an
Like
RPG.
every one of those was good in some
Because
aspects.
11 and
Like,
14 were MMOs.
like 12 had like some ups and downs. 13 had lots of downs. 14 I played was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And then 15 had a lot of downs too.
No,
so.
but right now we're talking about specifically
The
sound-
music.
Oh yeah,
But no,
soundtracks.
14 is an absolute masterpiece because it's always adding more shit.
Yeah.
And it's always going hardcore when it adds that shit.
Yes, it does.
And even when they add shit from the other games, they make it better.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, in terms of quality and consistency, from 4 to 10 is where it was like perfect. Like you could always expect Final Fantasy to be good no matter what.
Yeah.
And now it's like Final Fantasy, I feel like it's either going to be like there's going to be parts you like, but it's never going to be like a 10 out of 10 masterpiece like it was in the past.
And then-
Except maybe 14, but I haven't
And
played
yeah.
enough of 14. I've played like 10 hours.
Everybody
it's
can-
great.
Tell you
But-
what, go hang out with Rick for like 2
Yeah.
hours, and he'll explain.
Oh,
to you.
Oh,
yeah.
he's already explained it. I
No,
believe
no,
it.
no, I
No.
mean, if let someone explain to you the newest update in 2 hours, and you'll just be like,
And
you'll need new
we
pants.
can sit
Well,
here
let me
and
put
debate
it
about-
this way: if I had the time to play 14, like dear God, I would, because what I played of it for 10 hours was awesome. But the fact is, I'm a busy guy, unfortunately nowadays. Man, that sounds really depressing, doesn't it? I wish I could play more games.
Life is depressing.
Yeah,
It
it's life.
can be, yeah. But
Life
14
is
was very
depressing, then
good.
you die.
That's why I'm looking forward to 16 because it looks to take a lot of like the good aspects of 14 because it's by the same like director apparently.
Yep.
I'm more curious about who the music guy is gonna be.
Yeah, it'll be interesting too. Oh, and by the way, 16 is going to be good because the guy who did Devil May Cry 5 and Marvel vs. Capcom 2's Battle System as well as Dragon's Dogma is doing 16.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
you know,
that gives me some hope.
So you know that no matter what, this is probably going to be objectively
It's gonna have
speaking.
something.
There's no way this can't be the best single player Final Fantasy since at least 10 probably.
I'm gonna say this: go in with the lowest expectations.
You should.
possible.
You should. I
Because-
should.
because already you're hyping it up more than
I know.
you should.
And-
Not saying it won't be great. 'cause
Yeah,
I
you
think-
don't
And,
want to oversell
and to be
it.
fair, I did the
Hey.
same thing for 15, and that
Go
turned.
to Dewey
Oh no,
from
bro.
Malcolm.
Same
Yeah, but-
here.
but-
okay.
Yeah.
Go in with a Dewey from Malcolm in the middle of the road. I have no expectations at all.
But yeah, no.
So-
Like, if I was to pick my favorite Final Fantasy soundtracks, though, I'm gonna go with 6, 7, 8, 10, 14, and 15. Yeah,
Okay.
15. Yeah, 15 was.
Swap out 15 for 4, and I'll give you that. Oh, and also the battle on the big bridge in Final Fantasy V is kind of a
Well,
masterpiece.
I'm just talking
Okay.
about. I'm just talking about the soundtracks.
Okay, now we're
Yeah.
gonna end this one with a nice, lovely debate, so we can all.
Well, Kelly hasn't mentioned much
Oh.
at all.
Yeah, come on,
Go
let
with Kelly,
Kelly
yes.
go into this.
Kelly,
Trying to take away Kelly's spotlight.
Come on,
Throwing
he
you-
only mentioned Kingdom Hearts, and that was
Trying
it.
to, and I didn't even. I barely scratched the surface. I talked about one track.
Yeah.
Now, tell us more about Kingdom Hearts, and then more stuff.
All right, so Kingdom Hearts, Yoko Shimomura, brilliant composer.
Amazing.
I mean, not only, and then of course we also have the original songs by Utada Hikaru.
Yep.
Oh,
But
yes.
Shimomura's soundtrack, the two tracks that absolutely, I mean, obviously the theme, Dearly Beloved, you gotta love it. You've gotta love it in any of its iterations.
My absolute favorite goes to Birth by Sleep.
Yeah. Birth by Sleep was great.
Especially the climactic version that plays during blank points.
My bro.
When everybody's coming together and just like, yeah, this gets you hyped, man.
My bro.
The other track that always gets me hyped is Key of Light.
Ooh, nice choice.
Because that's the theme that just like, no, in just this one piece of music, it tells you everything about what the Keyblade is supposed to represent. Both as the beacon of light and also the tool for those who guard the worlds. I love it. And I'm also just a sucker for the Hammond electric organ, which Key of Light, the electric organ just goes all over that. And I love it dearly.
While Kingdom Hearts 3 was a disappointment on another episode we'll talk about later in the future,
yeah.
the soundtrack, especially in the last world, is
Yeah, it was quite good.
So good.
Oh yeah, the
Yes.
theme for Scala ad Caelum is
is
brilliant. Which of course, Scala ad
oh.
Caelum translated into Latin means stairway to heaven.
yes,
Ah.
but
I didn't know that.
yes, but specifically the number one song though, right before we go to Stairway to Heaven, is when you're fighting like the tornado of giant hearts.
Right, and you get the reprisal of Key of Light.
yeah.
And it's the full orchestral version, and you're just like, I'm sorry, this moment is just, it brings a tear to your eye.
yeah, no, like even if,
Especially when you have, slight spoilers, when not only are all the keys helping you, but it's all the names of everyone who helped put in the game, and then of course you get the Spirit of Ephemer helping you right at the end.
oh yeah, no, like honestly, even if I hated 3, that song, that scene, that bit right there, just,
So good.
Oh,
It is perfect. It makes everything else worth it.
yeah, straight up, hands down.
And everyone has to debate about Final Fantasy, but the big debate with Kingdom Hearts, especially from the soundtrack, Simple and Clean Sanctuary.
Sanctuary.
Everyone has that debate.
Sanctuary.
Sanctuary is objectively the better song, but obviously the meme potential on Simple and Clean
just got played to death. in my
Yeah,
opinion.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As good of a song as it is. Excuse me.
I'm gonna go with my favorite meme. Both.
Both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like these songs? Yes, I do.
Well, for the first opening, more specifically the version that they did for Kingdom Hearts.
Uh-oh.
I got a sanctuary for you.
No, you
No,
don't.
you don't.
Oh, yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I
It
do.
better not be Simple and Clean.
You will get your sweet ass out of my house right
You
now.
damn straight I am a sweet ass.
I will fuck you right now if we leave right this second.
Well, about damn time.
Sorry, kids.
Well, press F in the chat for Uncle Hank. He's taking one for the team, boys.
This is like Uncle Hank's redemption saga right now, isn't
Kind of,
it?
yes.
It kind of is.
We finally found the one person worse than him.
This one thought that wasn't possible.
I feel like I'm scarred in some way. I don't even know why.
So, the next soundtrack that I think I gotta bring up, Legend of Spyro.
Oh my god.
Spyro, yes.
Oh my god, I forgot about
Now,
that.
here's the cool part about Spyro the Dragon. So, the soundtracks for the first, I think it's 4 games, the composer actually happens to be Stu Copeland, who used to be the drummer for the Police.
No way.
Really?
After the Police broke up, he went into composing and soundtrack work. And so yes, you can thank the drummer from the Police for the first 4 Spyro games.
That's actually pretty nuts.
That explains why the soundtrack was so good.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you got someone who's actually a professional musician.
I just want to get out of my system. Where's Nasty Nort? I'll torch him. Okay, sorry. You can shake the jar if you want, but
We'll allow it.
okay.
We'll allow that one.
If you shrieked it, I would have jarred you immediately.
Okay.
But you didn't.
For this
and
case,
you kept
we'll
it,
allow- this is-
you
this
kept
is
it, and you did it, and you get it sweet and short. And I'm
I'll
allow it.
I appreciate it.
So yeah, love the Spyro music, but for me, some of the best video game music, in my opinion, the Ace Combat series.
I really need to get into that series.
Sadly, I never even touched.
Now, probably my favorite,
I've only played part of 4.
yeah,
so.
my favorite game in the series is Ace Combat 5: The Unsung War, which has some great tracks, and also in the credits even includes a Blurry by Puddle of Mud.
Oh, really?
But hands down, the best single theme piece of music from the Ace Combat series actually comes from Ace Combat 7: Skies Unknown, which just came out a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
The theme actually comes in 2 parts. The first version of the theme, it plays during the mission that's called the Battle for Snyder's Top.
Uh-huh.
Then it just gives you a little tease of the theme, just a little wisp of, oh, here's what you'll get to hear. But then later in the game,
Here it comes.
during the mission called Daredevil,
Like, let me guess, one of the peak missions or one of the final ones?
it's the next to last mission in the game.
Okay,
so the
penultimate then.
So the stakes are
there.
pretty high.
Yeah.
And when the actual main theme hits in Daredevil, oh yeah, like you're already feeling like a badass because you're flying a fighter jet trying to take on impossible odds. But when that music hits, you're just like,
Dang.
this is what it.
I'm going out.
This is what being a fighter pilot's all about.
So 5.
Never tell me the odds.
So is 5 a sequel to 4, or are they tied, or like?
Technically, yes. So the first 3 games in Ace Combat are all
I know those
independent of each other.
Yeah, I thought they made like a storyline with like 4, 5, and 0. I remember hearing.
So the storyline. So there's one big storyline called the Strange Real Universe, which is basically a parallel universe to our own.
Okay.
So starting from 4 and going through 4, 5, 0, 6, and 7 all take place in the Strange Real Universe.
So everything except the first 3 are connected then.
And Assault Horizon. We do not talk about Assault Horizon.
So that's like a little spin-off thing. Okay.
See, Assault Horizon made the mistake of trying to take place in our universe.
with
With our real world geopolitical issues.
that's no fun.
No, it's not. That and some of the mechanics that they tried to introduce in Assault Horizon, while creative, just didn't work.
Just not fun to play.
But yeah, I am definitely gonna have to play you guys the theme to Skies Unknown after we're done recording, since obviously I can't play it here for legal purposes.
Yeah, I'll have to get back into 4. I played like 4 missions of 4, and it was pretty dope. But
yeah, the Ace Combat games, Keiki Kobayashi, excellent composer, really knows his stuff. So those I would say are probably my favorite game soundtracks.
Yeah. I think I'll
I'm sorry, really quick. A very beautiful game soundtrack I listened to, even though I haven't even played the game yet.
Flower.
No, I have played Flower.
Journey?
I love Flower and Journey.
Yeah.
Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight, yeah, Hollow Knight. It's a
Haven't
good
touched
game.
that yet. Want to?
But have you heard the soundtrack though?
No.
It's very like calm but like lonely. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like it's very good.
after him, I'm making a
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
one I'm gonna say as a unsung hero. Brain farting. Ron, say something real quick.
Well, I'm gonna bring up a couple that I mentioned that I like playing. Didn't mention them during my official tour, but I'll mention it now. Like another good person, well known amongst game songs, Jesper Kidd, who's composed up for really much most of the Assassin's Creeds, banger shit, and the Hitman games.
If you had to pick a favorite Assassin's Creed soundtrack,
Oh, that's not even fair.
That isn't fair.
That
4.
it's got to be 4
It's
for the
Black Flag.
for the shanties
Shanties
alone. The fact that they went back and researched all the correct tunes for these
Mm-hmm.
17th and 18th century
All right,
pirate
all right,
shanties.
all right.
That is pretty
Since-
respectable.
Since obviously you are dead set on 4, your top 3 then.
In
So obviously 4 takes the number
4
1 spot. But
nothing touches.
So
the next
what?
best one that comes before is Syndicate,
All right.
and then after that, that's a toughie. I don't know.
I mean, 3. The soundtrack was pretty good in 3.
It was all right.
Yeah.
Revelations had some good shit.
You see, for me, my top 3's got to go to Origins, Revelations, and 4.
I mean, everybody loves Black Flag.
I mean, yeah.
Everybody loves Black Flag.
I will tear up to fucking Party Glass every
Every
time.
Now, see, the one, of course, you can't go wrong with Drunken Sailor, but honestly, my personal favorite is Leave Her Johnny.
That's
Yeah.
also a good one.
But no, I would say Party Glass just because of that ending.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
But if we're gonna go strictly with the shanties, Lever Johnny, Drunken Sailor,
Old Billy Riley's another
Old
good
Billy
one.
Riley,
Obi-Wan is all right.
Dead Horse.
Dead Horse, yeah.
I forget the name of it. It goes England Island, something.
I don't know.
And don't forget Spanish Ladies.
Spanish Lady.
Oh,
yeah.
essentially, this is a good one. Yeah, but no, fucking. I'm just talking about the beauty of a soundtrack, though.
Raleigh
So,
Jolly.
the
Randy Dandio. There we go.
Yeah.
Because no, shanties are great, and I'm glad.
Hell yeah.
I'm glad.
I
Black
spent
Flag-
many hours collecting them and then spent many more hours just traveling with the ship just so I could listen to them.
Oh, indeed.
No,
you
dude.
can just sail around listening to the shanties. You don't even have to do anything. Don't have to fight any of the ships. Don't have to do it. Just
put
literally
on fast,
sit.
put on
Just
fast travel.
yeah. Just literally sail around the Caribbean and just enjoy the music.
Yep. And then to top off mine, one of the silliest games ever, all involves Katamari. Katamari Damacy.
The Last of Us. That has a beautiful
Oh,
soundtrack.
especially 2.
Oh yeah.
I cried.
For me, I think the first Last of Us was better personally because the ending of the first game was just so spot on.
No, I agree with you straight up. I agree.
Yeah.
I prefer the soundtrack of the first game over the second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I think in most cases I like the first game more than 2. 2 had the better gamelay, definitely though. But
Yeah.
Let's see. here.
But 2 gave us if I may,
Yeah, go on.
2 gave us a great cover of Ellie's voice actor, I forget her name.
a Take on Me. Yeah, they actually
And-
did a good
no,
job
not
in
Take
that.
On Me. No, it's Ellie and Joel Baker doing Wayfaring Stranger.
Yeah.
That too.
That was lovely.
And Troy Baker singing Future Days.
Yep. Let's see here. Ooh, Shadows of the Colossus.
Oh yes,
That's
yes.
the
I still
Yeah.
have to touch that one.
Oh,
But
you,
Motherfucker.
you should.
Sorry.
You know
Finish
what?
it.
You know what? One of these days on your live stream, I'm gonna come on. That's what we're gonna do.
Play the PS3 version. It's the PS2 version with a consistent
What about
30
the PS4 version?
That one's good, but I would say play the original one first on the PS3.
the frame rate does. drop.
Yeah, because the PS2, just really quick, this will be the last thing I say. PS2's frame rate's very inconsistent with Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah, I know that. I have a feeling
PS3
about that.
stabilizes it. So play the PS3 version of Shadow of the Colossus. Mwah.
Yeah.
Might be in my PS Plus library. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
But anyway, I
On
think
it-
it might be about time we wrap this
Yeah,
up.
Kids, I couldn't keep her any longer. She's coming.
Time to bail.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Come in!
Oh, one thing we should have probably announced: we got social medias coming, everyone.
Yes, we do.
What are you guys talking about? We gotta get the fuck out of here. She's coming.
Then you get out of here. We can.
Come on!
I'll hold her up as long as I can.
Right. Chris, roll that shit quick.
Alrighty then, we got social medias coming up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. What up? We got Discord coming up soon. Any
maybe some
promotions will be in the
TikTok,
future.
Yep. Probably by the time this episode's out, it'll already be out. But come on, guys, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
Cheese it! Let's get out of here!